Plastic, a commonly used material in almost every household, but one which can also be detrimental to the environment and pose serious threats to lives and livelihoods.
If you disintegrate the plastic, actually, it's more than 2,000 chemicals.
It has been termed as a global problem that affects every single person in the world.
What makes plastic being an issue now? It's the single-use plastics. Some ending in the field, reducing the permeability of water to the soil, making the tree growth more challenging, then exacerbating also the drought when it's rain. All the drainage are blocked. It's exacerbating floodings. And since, unfortunately, these plastics is not something that our body, our systems can digest, then he gets through our system, and unfortunately, he became a poison.
Ongata Rongai is a rapidly growing town in Kajiado County, 13 kilometers from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. With a bulging population of approximately 500,000 and lack of proper planning, plastic waste management is a huge challenge here. Anton Baraza is a waste collector in Kajiado County.
Wakati naanza kazi, huwa naenda nayo, hata nikiangalia nyuma, hata kabla sijaenda 100 meters, nikiangalia nyuma hivi kuna machupa tena zimeshatupa ndani. Ni kama venye sijatoa. Sasa history ya plastic imekuwa too much. Hata tumeshindwa tutakontrol aje upande wa plastics.
Remarkable efforts have been made by different stakeholders in tackling the problem of plastic waste. But perhaps it is time to tackle the menace from where it begins, at home. As Kenya prepares to host the 4th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly, Zulani TV has come to Ongata Rongai to meet a young girl whose initiative is a big leap towards winning the fight on plastic menace and helping keep the environment clean.
My name is Ariana Maho Ogada. I'm 9 years old. I'm in class 4.
Disturbed by the effect caused by plastic waste in her home and school environment, Ariana Maho decided to take action and do something to make the environment better.
Every morning as I go to school, I see plastic bottles being removed in the trenches. And every evening as I come back, I find plastic bottles in the trenches. Often it rains and water can't flow. It means we can't play beyond our little compound. It means the compound smells bad. I told my mother I don't like it. She told me, then do something.
The 9-year-old who loves planting trees uses plastic waste from her household to make flower pots and has turned her parents' balcony, which is also her working station, into this beautiful flower garden. And her work is amazing.
She asked for my laptop again. She went through, I think, researching. I don't know what she was researching. And she came up to me and told me, you know what? I have this idea. And I think I'll recycle these plastic bottles and I'll come up with very beautiful flower pots. I was shocked with her work. I didn't know that she could use my old nail polish. She could recycle this. This I would actually, when they're dry, I would throw them out.
No plastic leaves her home, she tells me. Everything is recycled. From small water bottles to large containers like this, to her mom's dried up lipstick, all find use. The results? These magnificent flower pots. Ariana knows that the impact of her work alone will not be enough to keep the environment free from plastic. She encourages and teaches other kids to do the same so as to widen the impact.
I need to make sure that no plastic leaves the house as waste. I told my friends to do the same.
They're actually emulating what she's doing. They're making plants as well. They're recycling plastic. And they're even coming up with more better ideas. It's a playful project, I think, and kids find it fun. And I believe it starts small, but it grows big. It will make a change in future. This is a long-term investment.
According to the UN Environment State of Plastic report, the world produces around 300 million tons of plastic every year, out of which only 14% is collected for recycling, and only 9% of the total plastic produced until 2018 has been recycled.
To have a successful recycling program, you need to have a very strong collection scheme, and this is not always the situation. The challenges also of recycling is depend also on the price of a primary resin, and the price of primary resin is also depending on the price on the international market of oil and gas. For example, if the price of primary resin is too low, recycling become a challenge.
Waste generation in Africa, like in other developing regions in the world, is driven by population growth and rapid urbanization. The management methods are, however, severely inadequate. More than a half of the generated waste is disposed of on the street, roadsides, open spaces and stormwater drainages, water bodies and through burning, which results to serious health and environmental consequences.
When you burn plastics, you are producing very, very toxic chemicals. You will pollute the air, and people are breathing the air. So it's end up at increasing the number of maybe health problems like asthma, like respiratory health issues, even cancer.
Kenya is one of the first countries in Africa that banned usage of plastic bags in effort to mitigate the effect on the environment. The impact of that ban is, however, yet to be felt, as loads and loads of plastics still find way to the environment. Africa aspires to be recycling at least 50% of our waste by the year 2023. For this to happen, a combination of low-cost, small-scale community-driven initiatives like Ariana's and large-scale, high-cost public-private initiatives are required.
At times I see people just drinking water and they comfortably throw plastic and garbage out the windows, and that is okay with them. So I'm thinking when we start with kids at this age, at this tender age, they'll grow up knowing that it's not good to throw away, to litter, our environment.
If we can manage to dispose in a very sustainable way the plastic that we are handling, if you can choose not to use a single-use plastics, if each consumer can just think twice and say, if I cannot reuse tools, if I cannot reuse cups or glasses, etc., then I will not go for it. It will be a tremendous contribution of each individual to solve the plastic pollutions.
For Ariana, though, it is much more than just play.
I don't plan to stop. I plan to save, and one day this can be a big company.
You can see these are very beautiful plants. And I came up with a price and I told her, you know what, this can be this much, this can be this much. And it happened. It's now a business.
Ariana's major focus, however, remains in keeping the environment clean by keeping plastic waste away from it. This, she knows, will require massive investments and novel partnerships to accelerate her initiative. At only 9 years of age, the young girl Ariana should be the least person to blame for the plastic menace. She has, however, taken full responsibility and, in her own small ways, recycling one plastic at a time to help keep the environment clean. For Africa Development Journal, I'm Juma Majanga.